It started last Monday. I thought I heard someone whispering outside my door. Faint. Almost too quiet to notice. But the sound didn't belong to the hallway. Or the building. It came from inside my apartment. A pause. Silence. My heart pounding. And then, a voice. Cold, calm, impossible. Hello. Just a whisper. Soft, low, almost polite. But the tone, it made the hair on my arms stand up. I froze. For a moment, I couldn't even breathe. The sound came from the corner of my living room, just behind the armchair. Always the same corner. Every night, it started at exactly 2:47 a.m. The first night, I tried to ignore it. Pretend it was nothing. Pretend I was imagining things. By the third night, I answered, "Who's there?" Silence. Then a quiet, cruel laugh. A laugh that seemed to come from nowhere, bouncing off walls. It made my chest tighten, my heart leap into my throat. I turned on the lights. Nothing. My apartment looked normal, empty, silent. I put my ear to the corner. Nothing. And the whisper came again, slightly closer. "Don't be afraid." Except it wasn't comforting. It was mocking. By the fifth night, I had begun recording. Phone on the table, camera facing the corner. I wanted proof, but also, I wanted to see if it would show itself. And every night, without fail, at 2:47, the whisper came. From the same corner, same tone, same cruel laugh. Until last night. It moved, slowly, deliberately. Not outside the apartment, not even near the same corner. It slid across the room, a voice drifting from one wall to the next, then the ceiling, then back again, as if it were alive, avoiding the light. I switched on the desk lamp. The voice stopped, but it didn't leave. It shifted to the other side of the room, where the shadows pooled, and it whispered again. Closer, louder. And that's when I realized it wasn't just talking, it was watching. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every shadow in my apartment seemed to twitch. Every creak of the floorboards sounded like someone stepping closer. At 2:47, the whisper returned. But this time, it moved differently. Instead of staying in the corner, it drifted along the walls. From the living room to the kitchen, then to the hallway, closer to my bedroom door. I flipped on the lamp by my bed. Silence. For a second, I thought it had vanished. But then the whisper returned, faint, almost teasing, coming from the ceiling above me. I could hear it moving, from one corner to the next. Every step slow, deliberate, avoiding the light. I tried calling out, "Who's there?" Nothing. Only a dry, hollow laugh. Closer now, directly behind me. I whipped around. Nothing, just my apartment. Empty, silent, normal. But the air had changed. Thick, cold, like something invisible was pushing against me. I grabbed my phone, hit record. The voice moved again, skipping from the living room to the hallway, whispering in circles. And then it stopped. Right at the bedroom door. I could feel it, waiting. I switched on every light in the apartment. Living room, kitchen, bathroom. All of them. The voice didn't disappear. It retreated, not gone, just moving to the darkest shadows, the corners the light couldn't reach. And when I switched off the last lamp, it was there again. Close. Breathing. Mocking. I could almost hear it behind me, whispering. Not so brave now. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in bed, lights on, phone recording, heart pounding, waiting for the first whisper to start again. Because I knew it would. And that night, it didn't come from the same place. It came from everywhere. The third night felt different. I could feel it before it even started. The weight in the air, the pause of the world around me. At exactly 2:50 a.m., it began again. A whisper. Low, almost playful. From the living room this time. I shouted, "Stop! Show yourself!" Nothing, just that hollow laugh, bouncing from one corner to another, circling the apartment like a predator playing with its prey. I grabbed a flashlight. The narrow beam cut through the darkness. The whisper moved instantly, from the kitchen to the hallway, then behind the sofa. Always just out of reach, just out of light. I started following it, pointing the beam where I thought it was. "Hello?" I yelled again. Silence. Then it laughed. Close. Right behind the bedroom door. I swung the flashlight toward it. Nothing. Only shadows. Then a sudden sound. The whisper right next to me, laughing softly. Almost human. Almost childish. I spun around. Empty. My heart pounded. My hands were shaking. It wasn't outside anymore. It wasn't confined to the corners of the apartment. It was moving freely, darting, fleeing from light, taunting me. I tried blocking rooms, closing doors, turning lights on. It jumped from corner to corner, always just avoiding the glow. I called my name out, pleading, but all I got was laughter, closer, then further, nearer, then retreating. It was everywhere, nowhere. And then, the whisper stopped. The apartment went silent. Too silent. I could hear my own breathing, my own heartbeat. Then a single word, cold and deliberate. Finally, from the darkest corner of the hallway, I shone my light toward it. The corner was empty, but I felt it. Watching, waiting, smiling. I realized I wasn't safe. Not for a moment. And it wasn't going to leave. That night, I didn't even try to sleep. Every corner of the apartment felt alive, anticipating. I sat in the middle of the living room, flashlight in hand, ears straining. The clock ticked toward 3 a.m. Exactly at that minute, it began. A whisper, faint at first, echoing from the far bedroom. I swung my flashlight in that direction. Nothing. Then a soft laugh, bouncing to the kitchen, then the bathroom. I could feel it moving. Quick, sharp, unpredictable. It was no longer hiding. It was hunting. I called out, voice shaking. "Show yourself." A pause. Then a voice right behind me, low and cruel. "Why are you scared?" I spun around, empty hallway. The whisper circled me, darting from wall to wall, floor to ceiling. I tried turning on every light. It reacted instantly. Disappearing from the lit areas, reappearing just out of reach. The air grew heavy. My chest tightened. A shadow flickered in the corner of my eye. I turned. Empty. A faint sound, like fingertips dragging along the wall. Closer, closer. I ran toward the noise. It vanished. Then a sudden slam. My bedroom door. Locked. I hadn't touched it. The whisper laughed. Soft, taunting, right beside my ear. I turned. Nothing. Then footsteps. Slow, heavy, coming from every direction. I tried escaping, but it felt like the apartment itself was shifting. Corridors stretching, walls bending. And then silence. I froze. The whisper returned, but now calm. Just one word. Alone. From the darkest corner of the living room. I shone my flashlight there. Nothing, just shadows. And then, the whisper came from inside the room with me, right behind the sofa. I could feel it, pressing, laughing, watching. It was everywhere and nowhere. I realized I wasn't just being hunted. I was being toyed with. And it had won. I didn't move. My hands were trembling, flashlight barely holding its beam steady. The whisper was all around me now, shifting from wall to wall, corner to corner. I tried to call out. My voice caught in my throat. Then it spoke again, this time closer, clear, no longer teasing. "Look." I turned the flashlight toward the middle of the living room and froze. A figure, tall, impossibly thin, standing in the dim light cast by the street lamp outside. Its head tilted unnaturally, eyes invisible, but I could feel them staring straight through me. I tried stepping back. The floor groaned beneath its weight. Then a sound I will never forget. The laughter. Not light, not teasing. Deep, wet, echoing, as if it had crawled through the walls. I swung the flashlight wildly. The figure didn't move, but the air around it shimmered. It wasn't bound by the laws of my apartment. It bent reality. I could hear my own heartbeat, painfully loud. But the figure? It didn't need to breathe. It reached a hand toward me. Long, pale, impossibly thin. I stumbled backward. The whisper now became a chorus of voices all around me, mocking, breathing, circling. I ran for the door, locked. I spun to find the key. The whisper followed, taunting, circling. I shone the flashlight at the ceiling, and for a split second, I saw every shadow in the apartment twist into shapes. Hands pressing, faces peering. And then the thing moved faster than light. Right in front of me, it was gone and appeared behind me simultaneously. I screamed. The flashlight dropped. The room went black. Silence. I heard only my own ragged breathing. Then a soft thud. I dared to look down. The figure was gone. No shadow, no footprints, nothing. The only thing left was the faint smell of smoke and a whisper, just for me. Next week. I ran out, never looked back. And even now, every night I check the window. The glass is always clean, but I know it's still there. Waiting, watching.